In today's video, we're going to talk about Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, aka the MonsterVerse is coming back next year. So yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around, and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, MonsterVerse-based videos that we cover on this channel leading up to Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire coming out next year. We will be covering this movie much more. So if you could also check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Also, if you could check it out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into this video. So we made a video about 2 weeks ago now, talking about the Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire TV spot. It's essentially a TV spot, essentially a teaser for the MonsterVerse, for Legendary Pictures to let you know that the next movie is coming out. And it was very clever the way they dropped it, because it wasn't just a generic static title reveal. No, they actually teased a lot without really teasing anything. And they have the internet now thinking we have a new Kong, an ancestor of King Kong, potentially, but all the Kongs were wiped out in the ancient war. Or were they? Or is this even a real Kong? We don't know. But since then, a lot of theories have come out. A lot of speculation, a lot of accumulation has come out. A lot of crazy, wild things have come out. This Kong can talk if you speed the trailer up. Really? Because the movie's not going to be shown at that speed, is it? No. So maybe he can talk, or she can talk if it is a Kong. I don't really think they're going to... It's not going to be Caesar, is it? But then there's other people saying things like... Actually, to be fair, I haven't actually seen anyone say this. So we had Mecha Godzilla in the last movie. What if this version of Kong is being controlled by a Mecha Kong, a mechanical Kong who's really being controlled by base Godzilla, some variation of that? We don't know. Now, there is a lot of criticism in the MonsterVerse community because everybody wants every single kaiju creature to appear in every movie, like Destroyer, Behemoth, Bailotolin. I've probably said that wrong on purpose, so you guys comment. What if maybe this Kong is actually the villain? Now, I don't think it is, because I've got a lot of information which we can't really go over yet at the moment. But let's just speculate based on information. Now, we know based on Adam Wingard what he said before all this information came out. So we know originally it was going to be the Son of Kong. That was the working title that all the trades were saying. So is this Kong the Son of Kong in a roundabout way? And a lot of people seem to think because the trailer pans out and you see Godzilla and you see Kong's skull, implying future deaths, or they're both going to die. Or what if they're just ancestors of our Kong and our Godzilla? We don't know. But you think this glowing eye, he's got glowing eyes. That means he's more powerful, and it means he can take out both Kong and Godzilla. It sounds pretty ludicrous and ridiculous when Mecha Godzilla, a mechanical designed Godzilla, couldn't even take out Godzilla and Kong. You think this jabroni, who appears to be red, but is he really red, or is it just the lighting, or is it just the way the trailer's cut? We do know that studios cut trailers in certain ways to make you think certain things. So channels that break down trailers, etc., will cover this stuff extensively. Now, there's a lot of channels that do cover the MonsterVerse, which is fantastic. So there's lots of cool ideas out there. There's a lot of people that come on Twitter posts, and there's a MonsterVerse Reddit, and there's lots of different Reddits for people coming out and saying things. But it is a frenzy of exactly who the hell this Titan is. There's a lot of speculation. There really is. But realistically, is he being controlled by Mecha King Kong or Mecha Kong? I don't think he is. I think it would be interesting if that was the case. But the problem is, if the overall villain does turn out to be Mecha Kong, controlling this last ancestor of the war of the ancient species that were down in Hollow Earth, is that would be kind of generic if that Kong was being controlled by Mecha Kong, and that's really why his eyes are glowing. Because as we know, Kong does have the new axe in a roundabout way, if you like, But if they're going to power up Kong again in this movie, they're going to have to power up Godzilla. Because we know ultimately at some point the Titans, Godzilla and Kong, will have to fight up again. But it's the glowing eyes and the fact he looks red that have everyone thinking there is some new energy in Hollow Earth that has somehow allowed this kaiju, this gorilla, this Kong, we don't know what to call him because there's a lot of speculation. The Red Kong, the evil Kong. I see a lot of people calling him evil Kong. How do we know he's evil? We haven't actually seen anything yet. It's just a concept trailer. The blue eyes look pretty unnatural. It's not actually a trailer. It looks like it's the same energy source, potentially, that Apex was after, which could be found within Hollow Earth. Now, all we know, even though there is a brand new synopsis, there's going to be some Titan that they've not encountered before, but we should already know this because they haven't explored Hollow Earth at all. And I do think this will be quite a sad movie in a way, because as we know, Kong, back from Skull Island, he's been by himself. He just wants to meet someone that's the same species as him. He wants to meet another Kong because outside of Godzilla being buddies with him kind of and having a massive war in the last movie, he's been by himself. And without the human touch and without the humans in the MonsterVerse universe, I guess you could say, Kong's basically been alone all this time. So it's going to be sad. It's going to be a really sad movie because he just wants to meet another Kong. And then there appears to be another Kong in the trailer. And it appears this other Kong maybe try and smash him because of the foreshadowing of the skulls of Godzilla and Kong, his ancestors that supposedly were taken out. So we know there's a history between both Godzilla and Kong, which should be explored and deepen our understanding and deepen our knowledge of both Kong and Godzilla. But we also know just because legendary pictures, just because they put writings on the walls, and just because they tease certain things doesn't actually mean anything. Doesn't mean we're going to find out anything more just because they put certain things on certain walls, on certain movies, does it? No. So they have changed the synopsis for this movie a few times already, but both synopses, if you like, says the same thing, whilst uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge those extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. Ha 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 ha. I do find it interesting how there's so much speculation about who this Kong is, because as far as I know, that's not even the villain of this movie. That's just something in the movie. But as far as I know, and I will still stick to this story, Space Godzilla is in this movie. Now, if you followed the channel for a while, you will know when it comes to plot information, when it comes to leaks, when it comes to test screening information, realistically, to do with Godzilla and Kong and the Kaiju MonsterVerse, I don't miss. If you go back and look on the channel and look what I said would happen in Godzilla vs. Kong, I literally told you people on the internet what would happen in this movie nearly word for word a year before the movie came out. So I do have information already, but I can't say anything yet. But there's more to this movie that will come out, and I really hope they do put a trailer out at San Diego Comic-Con and build the hype properly, because usually what they do is they drop a trailer 3 months out, and that's not what they need to do. They realize that even though the last movie got day-and-day release on HBO Max, which is now called Max, it still did just under $500 million. Outperformed Black Widow, outperformed a lot of Marvel movies that year, even Eternals. Like, it's crazy that the MonsterVerse movie outperformed Marvel. So there's so much potential for this movie. I do think it's fantastic that there's so many theories of who the hell is this kaiju? Who is it? I do find it interesting that there is the evil Kong can talk theory going around, but realistically, there's no evidence. It's just speeding up a clip and hearing what he says. And like I said, the movie's not actually going to be, the movie's not going to be played at that speed. But it would be cool if the Kong could talk in a language we could at least hear, not understand necessarily, but at least hear. That would be very interesting. So the way the movie's being marketed from tidbits that have got out here and there is Godzilla and Kong are gonna have to team up to take out the new threat. Now, do you really think this Red Kong, let's call him Red Kong, is actually behind everything in what's going to happen? Do you really think that a Red Kong is going to be on Mecha Godzilla level? So let's think about it. So whoever this creature is, people seem to think it's going to take Kong and Godzilla to take him out. Kong and Godzilla took out Mecha Godzilla pretty easily. Do you really think they're going to struggle to take out this one? Why? Because he's got blue eyes, or glowing eyes, if you like. I don't think that's going to be the case. But I do think it will be sad in a sense, because Kong's finally going to meet someone that looks somewhat similar to him. And it will be fascinating. And I do agree with the ideas and theories going around that it will have to be the darkest movie yet, because Kong is going to finally find another Kong that appears to be from his species, from his race. But I don't think, I really want to say something, but I can't say it yet. I really don't think, that's the only thing I can actually say. I don't think he's the overall villain. And there is evidence, but can't talk about it yet because it's not actually out there. And until it's out there, I just can't do that. So let me know, what do you think is actually going on? Because like I say, it's not actually a trailer. It's a concept trailer. It's to foreshadow something. Do you believe the theory that's going around the internet? I can't give credit to whoever said it because I don't know who said it first, that this Red Kong is being controlled by Mecha Kong, and Mecha Kong is being controlled by Space Godzilla. There could be a lot of different kaiju new species that we find in Hollow Earth, because let's remember, in terms of visually seeing Hollow Earth in the kaiju MonsterVerse on the big screen, it's predominantly focused on Godzilla more than Kong, if you think about it. Kong got his movie, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs Kong. It's really only focused on Godzilla. But this movie, Son of Kong, was the first working title. Does that mean that really this is the villain? Or really he's being controlled by Mecha Kong? I don't know. Find out soon, I guess, when the trailer drops and more people speak. I mean, there is information out there, but people aren't talking. I know some people know what I'm on about. It's interesting. It really is. So let me know down below, guys, all your theories for this movie. I would try and post a lot more videos to do with Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, but realistically, we can't talk about much yet because that will be wrong. And I think the marketing will be cool. But when it's out there, we can definitely go to town with what we already know. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter at WarstuG. And I will catch ya in another video very soon. Catch ya later.